These are the final images of the victim ever captured on camera. On the evening of February 21st, 2013, Kira Steger left the Mall of America with her husband after what appeared to be a date night. The footage shows the two walking side by side like any ordinary couple. A few hours later, at 11:44 p.m., her phone stopped all activity. From that moment on, Kira's journey existed only in data and investigative traces. When an adult with a stable routine suddenly disappears, an investigation often begins with the smallest details. In Kira Steger's case, the first sign of trouble was not a scream for help or visible violence. It was absence. An absence completely out of character for her. Kira Steger was born on November 19, 1982, in Des Plaines, Illinois. Her parents, Marcy and Jay Steger, described their daughter as devoted, compassionate, and someone who always planned carefully for her future. At 30 years old, she worked at the Mall of America in Bloomington, Minnesota. It is one of the largest shopping centers in the United States, with hundreds of stores and an extensive surveillance system. Kira previously worked at Wet Seal before moving to Delia's. Her co-workers said she never missed a shift. She was punctual, detail-oriented, and serious about her work. She was often the one encouraging others rather than complaining. That is why when February 23, 2013 passed without Kira showing up, concern began immediately. Her co-workers called her multiple times. There was no response. Text messages went unanswered. Her phone went straight to voicemail. This was not like her. They contacted her husband, Jeffrey Trevino. Jeffrey said Kira had left the house the previous morning to attend a work event. He explained that sometimes she would disappear for a day or two to stay with friends or relatives. He appeared calm. He suggested that heavy snowfall may have caused her car trouble or drained her phone battery. However, Kira's family stated that disappearing without notice did not fit her habits. That same day, Jeffrey filed a missing person report. This is a common step in similar cases. But in any investigation, the person closest to the victim is always questioned first. Police went to Jeffrey's home to gather information. He described the evening of February 21st in detail. According to him, they had dinner, went bowling, returned home, and watched a movie. The next morning, around 8:30 a.m., Kira left for work. He said everything seemed normal. He admitted they had experienced some recent tensions, but described them as typical marital disagreements. To verify his account, investigators reviewed footage from the Mall of America. Cameras showed Kira finishing her shift and meeting Jeffrey. They walked side by side. There were no visible signs of an argument in the footage. They headed down to the underground parking ramp. A white Chevy Cobalt exited the lot. The footage did not clearly show who was behind the wheel. At this stage, Jeffrey's statement did not contradict the surveillance footage. But the investigation did not stop there. The focus shifted to the hours after they returned home. Kira's phone records were obtained. Her final message was sent at 11:44 p.m. on February 21st. After that time, her phone showed no further activity. No calls, no texts, no data from the device. In modern investigations, a digital silence is often a critical turning point. When a device that is typically active suddenly goes dark, investigators focus on that moment. The time between 11:44 p.m. and the following morning became central to the case. A neighbor's security camera, capable of rotating across the entire street, provided additional footage. Around 2 a.m., a vehicle was recorded moving in front of the house during heavy snowfall. The image quality was poor due to low resolution and snow coverage. The vehicle appeared to reverse and then leave the area. Jeffrey said he had gone to fill his wife's gas tank at her request. A gas station camera confirmed he appeared there at approximately 3:30 a.m. He also withdrew cash from an ATM. After leaving the gas station, the vehicle was not recorded returning home on the neighbor's camera, though the rotating angle made it impossible to draw a definite conclusion. At 9:21 a.m., a vehicle was seen leaving the residential area. About 20 minutes later, a similar white vehicle was recorded entering the Mall of America parking lot. A man wearing a hoodie exited the lot and walked toward a taxi stand. The taxi company confirmed the ride was paid for in cash. The drop-off location was 1 block away from Kira and Jeffrey's home. This detail became significant when investigators compared the clothing worn by the man to footage of Jeffrey at the gas station earlier that morning. The hoodie with a large logo on the chest appeared in both recordings. On February 25th, security personnel at the Mall of America noticed the white vehicle had been parked for several days. When preparing to tow it, they saw red smudges on the trunk and contacted police. Inside the vehicle was Kira's purse and personal documents. Among them were divorce forms downloaded from the internet. Behind the car, a rolled trunk liner stained with blood was discovered. DNA testing confirmed the blood belonged to Kira. From that point forward, the case was treated as a homicide. Police obtained a warrant to search the home. From the outside, the house appeared undisturbed. However, when luminol was used, multiple areas in the bedroom and hallway illuminated. DNA testing confirmed the blood belonged to Kira. There were signs that the carpet had been cleaned. In late March, volunteers discovered a bag containing a blood-stained pillow and clothing near Keller Lake. DNA confirmed the items belonged to Kira. The search continued for weeks. On May 8, 2013, a body was discovered in the Mississippi River. Dental records confirmed it was Kira Steger. The medical examiner documented blunt force trauma to the head and a fractured finger. Due to advanced decomposition, the exact cause of death could not be determined. Based on the chain of evidence, including phone records, surveillance footage, taxi GPS data, gas station receipts, and forensic findings, prosecutors charged Jeffrey Trevino with second-degree murder. The trial took place in October 2013. The jury concluded the act was not premeditated, but the result of a sudden argument. In November 2013, Jeffrey Trevino was sentenced to 27.5 years in prison. He will be eligible for parole in 2031. This case demonstrates how small pieces of evidence can form a complete picture. There was no camera inside the bedroom, no direct eyewitness, no confession. But there was a phone that stopped at 11:44 p.m. There was a vehicle recorded at 2 a.m. There were gas station transactions at 3:30 a.m. There was taxi GPS data near the home. There was blood in the bedroom. And there was a body identified through dental records. Each piece alone may not have been enough, but together they formed a logical chain of evidence. The jury relied on that chain to reach its verdict. The case of Kira Steger is not just a criminal file. It demonstrates the role of technology in modern investigations. Surveillance cameras may not capture every moment, but they can record enough to complete the picture when combined with other evidence. And in this case, it was the small details that ultimately spoke louder than words. The case of Kira Steger shows how minor details can connect to reveal the full truth. Cameras, digital data, and forensic science served as silent witnesses. Thank you for watching. Wishing you health and safety. We will see you in the next episode of Recent Crimes.